I've had some more happy mail, and we're going to open it up because we're going to use this happy mail for these to put into them. Even got a lid, look. So let's go play. Hello everyone and welcome to NerdGoblinart. I'm Lula. So I've had some happy mail and it's really cool. Well, all the happy mail is really cool. This is from Tina and oh, it's so lovely. It's such a lovely message. Thank you for making me smile and keep doing what you do best. Thank you, Tina. I really appreciate it, and I keep all my little messages and stuff, so thank you. And this is perfect because I've wanted to do this for a while, and this is a pestle and a mortar. It's a mini one. I just never get round to getting one, and I always forget. I popped it in my wish list, which is my Amazon wish list, which is listed below. So Tina very kindly looked on there and spotted this and had it sent to me, so I really appreciate it. It's just one of those things that go by constantly, and by the time you remember, if you're like me, I'm on a budget. I have kids and stuff like that. So this is just a tiny bit of hardener that I've got left. So I've never had a go at making my own pigment paste, basically, to go into my resin. So I've watched a few videos. I've watched other creators doing these videos. And in particular, the neons from Let's Resin. I don't know if it's a thing across the board with all neon powders. You can't quite see it on that shot, but you can see it when I show you the pink. They're very bitty. It's not like mica powders that are very fine powdered down. These neons are quite lumpy, and I do find it a job when I want to use them in resin. So I've wanted to get a pestle and a mortar for ages to have a go at making pigment powder out of it, but I just, like I say, just never got around to it. So we're going to do that today, thanks to the lovely Tina. What I've been watching from other creators is that you can use up either the resin or the hardener, but obviously not together because it'll cure. So you can use either or. Ignore this silly part here where I'm trying to use a spoon to scrape out the powder that I've just mashed in. I do switch my brain on. I've been having a lot of headaches. My neck issues cause a lot of headaches for me, and my brain just wasn't engaging. And then suddenly I was like, use a brush, Lou, which I did. So there we are. So you only use, ta-da, either the resin part. You just only use the resin or the hardener. So I just picked up the last little smidgens of the hardener and I've just popped it into a silicone cup. So it doesn't seem like a hard process, but when I was doing this, I was like, do I need more than this? But I think what I've learned is, obviously, if you want it, because you're going to be mixing this into your actual made up resin, if you want it more opaque, then I'm assuming I would add more of the powder to it. But as you can see there, I'm thinking I need a little bit more, so I'm just adding a bit more. But I wasn't too worried about these little pots being opaque, so I kind of wanted them, That's the opposite of opaque. More translucent. So that's what I'm going for. And as you can see, that powder, if you look down when I brushed off, it was flying up in the air. It is important that you wear the appropriate PPE. I don't necessarily need to be wearing gloves at this moment, but I choose to because I've said it before, I've said it a few times, I do have touch dermatitis, so when it comes to like fine powders and stuff, I tend to put gloves on just because I don't need my fingers to get sore and cracked. But wear a face mask when you do it. You shouldn't be breathing in all these little powders and stuff. It's not going to do you any good. So I am wearing a face mask while I'm doing this. So I'm happy with that. I'm just popping the lid on. So we're going to be trying these out in a bit. So we're going to go through making a few. I'm going to do the same with the pink neon. Now I cleaned out the, I only used, so that's the pink neon, sorry, from Let's Resin. All I did to clean out the pestle and mortar, I can't remember words are hard. See how bumpy it is, see how lumpy and bumpy. There you go, I froze it for you. So it's quite, you know, it's a pain when you're trying to mix it into your resin. It can be quite a task, and I have found when I've used it, I thought I've stirred it in really well, but then when the piece cures, you know, you do tend to see quite a bit of it in those little bobbles and bumps in there. What was I saying? I can't remember. Oh, when I cleaned out the pestle and mortar. Is that right? It's called a pestle and mortar, isn't it? Yeah, it sounds wrong in my... never mind. This is what head pain is doing to me right now. Okay, all I did was I gave it a little spray with my isopropyl alcohol, and I used a big wipe as well. They're gonna stain it. It can't stay white forever. You grind it, you know, you're grinding these powders in, and it is gonna, you know, affect and scrape it in and everything. So it's not to worry as long as it's not coming. And once you've cleaned it, if it's not coming off on some kitchen roll or whatnot, you're good. You know, it just is gonna stain. It's as simple as that, especially colours like this. So done much the same again as I've done with the neon yellow. And this time obviously I'm more prepared, got a brush out and just popping it in, and again you see all that powder go up into the air just now. So what I'm doing is I'm adding, not adding as much as I want at first, just so the powders are not going everywhere, and then when I'm happy with the mix I can add a little bit more. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost anything and it's just the touch of a button. You can hit the bell down there as well, and that will notify you of any videos that I have coming up. So thank you to those who have already subscribed. I really appreciate it. And also thank you to my members for being my members and making me feel very, very special. I also have memberships available. It's only $3.99 a month, and that is for all levels. There's no differences. And maybe consider becoming a member. You'll get access to at least one video early per week. We're doing a members exclusive video once a month, and we're also you've also got access to like sneaky peeks and also the Nerd Goblin albums. These the purple and the green, I recently got these mica powders from Mould. They were part of the resin coaster set that they very kindly sent me. Now these don't need to be going into the pestle and mortar, and you've just seen me then add some diamond frost. The actual mica powders from mold are good. I've thoroughly enjoyed using them the other day, but I thought as well that I'd like to make, you know, I wanted to have a go at making some pigment paste from the more lumpier stuff, the mica, and I'm also going to do some with a one of the chameleon flakes, just, you know, just to show how we go. And I specifically wanted to add some glitter to some as well, just to see if it works with mixing it in for a mold. So I'm going to play some music now while I go through doing these last ones.
Pouring slow like a gentle breeze, epoxy rivers carrying my dreams, colors swirl in a liquid stream, a peaceful dance under soft moonbeams. Hands steady but my heart's so loud, the resin whispers beneath its shroud. I hold my breath as the torchlight glows, chasing flaws where the surface shows. No bubbles, no trouble, I prayed at night, a crystal mirror in the fading light, caught in a moment that feels divine. Just hold together, don't cross the line. Each mold a canvas, a fleeting scene, shadows trapped in the in-between, layers building like a sweet embrace, curing secrets time cannot erase. Patience lingers like a practice song, one wrong step turns the art all wrong. Every pore is a leap of trust, fingers crossed it won't combust. No bubbles, no trouble, I prayed at night, a crystal mirror in the fading light, caught in a moment that feels divine. Just hold together, don't cross the line.
So I just wanted to give this a little go. It is a bit scary putting in the flakes. The fuchsia Let's Resin flakes are my favourite of the Let's Resin. I can't even speak. But once I used the brush, it all come away. I thought, oh dear, I made a big mistake in adding this to the pot. I also did the same thing that I do quite often. I took a picture instead of starting to film, then I realised quite quickly. So it's just so you're aware of that one. So see where it looks like it's not going to come up at all, because as we know, flakes stick to everything, but obviously the pestle and mortar, it just brushes off. It does just brush off just like that, see. So I'm brushing those in, used a little bit more because I just didn't think it was enough. The only mistake I think with this part is the decision I made to add a little bit. I added the tiniest amount of black mica powder. What I wish I had done was added maybe a pink sort of one, because there's a lot of like pinky purples in those flakes, and I think adding a pink one or even a rose gold would have really brought those colours out and made it more like a mica, like a shimmer. It would have given us more of a shimmer. So this wasn't the best decision, but I'm going to use it all the same. But when I next do this, I am definitely going to try some flakes out, and I'm going to be adding them to more of a coloured resin that's going to best suit the colours within the flakes. So I've cleaned up, and I'm going to pour a few different things just for us to try out the colours. With the chameleon flakes mixed with the black, I'm going to add them to the crosses. It looks so pretty in the jar. So I've made up some Apex resin, and that is my favourite at the moment. It probably is always going to be my favourite, but it's what I'm using currently. It's a 1-to-1 resin. I do have a discount code, I should say, which I'll pop up now. That's 15% off all products with NERDGOBLIN 15. Take advantage of it. If you missed it, don't worry, it is listed in my description box below. It's a really good saving. So I've added this mixture, this paste, so to speak, to my resin. I separated it into some different cups, and I'm gonna burnish in. I'm gonna do 2 burnished in with like very different colours. So the first cross I'm gonna do is burnishing in some black. The middle one I'm gonna leave clear, just with the resin, and the third one I'm going to burnish in a gold. I think I do debate a few moments over which I'm going to use, and I think I go for more of a lighter gold, like a golden rod, I think, but I might show you a different one on the screen. So just adding that resin into the crosses. I don't actually use these enough. I'd kind of forgotten that I had them, so I've added them to my my little overflow tub of favourites for for little leftover extras, because I think they're a really great mould, whether you're religious or you like the crosses and stuff as artworks. I think they're a great little mould. I don't even know where it came from. I've had it a very long time. So I'm spraying with isopropyl alcohol as well, but I say it every time, I know, broken record. If you're burnishing in anything, remember to wait until you've put the resin in before spraying, because you'll end up undoing any work that you may have done. So this is me debating now. I'm looking at my carousel. I've got like 2 large carousels with all my colours on. And it's like a kid in a tea shop, at a sweet shop. I suppose it's a grown-up in a tea shop looking at cakes, because I like cakes more. Cakes are my favourite. I don't really like sweets that much. So, brand new one to open. And I'm just going to burnish that in. I think I just wanted to do a contrast of a darker colour with a lighter colour. But, once again, my brain just isn't working to its full capacity apparently this week. I think I should have done a pink so I could have seen the colours in this in the flake that's kind of mashed in a little bit better, but there you go. It is what it is, and there we go. So they're all poured. and just going around with the silicone tool just to encourage any bubbles, and another spray of some isopropyl alcohol, and just shifty that out of the way. Now, I've poured these cats so many times. These are they're basically advertised as rests for chopsticks. You know, they're little cats. Rests for chopsticks, crochet hooks, pens, you know, stuff like that. I use one on my desk often as well. I've got a few favourites that I like to use, you know, and I'll rest tools on there. So I'm going to do the first little cat where I'm going to mix the two colours. I'm going to mix the green and the purple and do that pour into the one kitty, and then we'll do the pink and the yellow in the other two. Remembering that the green and purple ones I added glitter to as well, so we're gonna see on the demold if that has come through with the paste. I haven't added anything in after the event, so it's just purely from this paste, and I think it was a good amount of the mica powder I put into those cups. It's still not fully opaque, but it's nice, you know, it works. But I really do love these colours, and as I said, these mica powders are in the mould resin coaster kit that they very kindly sent me just the other day, which I did a video on, you know, checking out that lovely box set. So check that video out if you haven't already seen it. It's really great product and a really lovely kit, and really good value for money if you are just starting out, you know. And I believe you can buy the mica powders from mould separately, so check their website out if you do like the colours. And you know, I gotta be fair, the pots are full of powder, you know, there's a nice amount in there. So I'm pouring at the same time like this, not filling them all the way to the top. I have poured these kitties so many times and used them for so many little trials. I've used them for doing the Petri effect, just all sorts of things. That's the main thing I can remember off the top of my head. But I know from experience not to fill them all the way to the top first, and make sure you use your silicone tool just to make sure the resin is down into their ears. Not they obviously, the cats, all these cat ones got the ears, but not all of them have a tail, like in the traditional sense, and not all of them you can see like paws sticking out. Some of them are like in the loafing position. So just do that, and you can spray it with some isopropyl alcohol. You can use your heat gun as well, just, you know, being careful if you're using a long net lighter. So that's poured, and as usual I clean as I go because I don't like getting into any big messes. So next, for the next cup, I'm just pouring some in to a little cup there. I'm going to be making up the pink neon, and these neons are fantastic. The Let's Resin ones, I don't think I've tried neons from another brand so far. I might have a few in the Rosifer. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. I think I've got a few in that, but I've not opened them as yet. But these Let's Resin ones are very, very nice. The colours are so lovely, and they're fun as well. I think they are great fun, and you can use them for all sorts of different projects, and you can even add, you know, paint to them, and they can become a very pastely. That sounded like pasty. I want a pasty. Pastely when mixed in, you know. So, you know, you can do a few fair things with them. and I like using them when I'm making kiddie jewellery. I say kiddie jewellery, a lot of grown-ups like buying the like little ghost pendants that I make up that sell in the shop, and these work really well. They're, you know, people just love them. They're just a bit of fun with the colours. So for the last one, we're gonna go with the yellow. There are actually quite a few different, I think there's maybe 2 yellows, there's and I think there's around 3 to 4 different versions of the pink as well, like dark magenta, dark pink and stuff like that. So it's well worth picking it up. They didn't send them to me, but I bought them myself. But you know, they're worth getting, they're worth picking up. So I'm just mixing that in. I do think that I potentially needed to add a little bit more to the pot, but I can add to it anyway later on, or when it starts running low, or if I just clean out the, you know, if it runs out, and I can clean out the jar and make up some more, so I know. And I'm probably going to be making up some pots of this of the rest of the colours of the neon range into the pigment, because it is so much easier than dealing with all those gritty. Basically, it's very gritty, so it was much easier just to do that, just add in the paste to my resin, and it is lovely. It's always been such a pain in the bottom mixing it in when it hasn't been, you know, when you haven't used the pestle and mortar. And of course, you know, I never waste resin. So I do have some pendant molds just sitting on the sides, which I'm going to be pulling out in a moment. And we'll just do a little mixture of those colours into these. Those little pendant squares, I have no idea where they came from, but I find them very useful. I think they might have come free with something, with another order I made, but I just can't remember, and I've not really seen them anywhere. But if you have, you know, and if you know where they're from, please let me know in the comments, because I do really like using them. I decided to mix up these colours, so I've added the neons to the micas, just to see if they look good. And to be honest, I think they look great. The green one, well, they can say the green one, the green and yellow, makes me think of like Twister lollies, the twisted, you know, I know what I mean. If you're not from the UK, you probably won't know what I mean, but I know what I mean, so there. And the yellow neon cat makes me think of lime jelly. Now I really want lime jelly. This is a cool little mold as well. I think I found this one on Temu, and it is useful again that, you know, I have these to the side, and if you have a little bit of resin left over and you don't want to waste it, you can pop them in these, and if they don't work out, just pop them in a tub as filler, you know, so any projects that you don't quite have enough resin in, you can just plop them in, and at least you're not wasting them then. On the last one, I'm going to do the green and the purple together. It is such a lovely colour combination. It is absolutely one of my favourite combinations of colours to use. And they're just they're nice. And just giving them a little swirl just for a little bit of interest. And just making sure there's potentially no bubbles. I don't want to be spraying them too much with isopropyl alcohol because I think I got quite a nice pour on those. So these need to cure, and they have by the magic of editing. So we're going to pull these ones out, and we'll do the extras first. They're nice and interesting. Kind of wish I backed them, but I can do that later if I want to. But you can see the little bit of a sparkle in there. Apologies for any banging you can hear. That would be one of my children opening and closing a door. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like those. Got a bit of overpour on that one. I did, obviously, I did spray it. I did spray it, and I'd obviously got a nice dome, and I managed to break it on that one. But lovely pink. That's a bit of fun, isn't it? Those could make cool earrings. And a lovely little pendant. I really love those colours. The green and the purple. So we'll do the cats next, and we'll do the pink neon. I think that's really lovely. It's really cool, isn't it? No bitty bits, no bitty bits either. No bitty bits in that pusscat. And now the lemon one. And that's the other thing, I was a little bit worried. I had a thought in the back of my mind that maybe you can't use like the hardener on its own for making pigment paste, and I thought maybe in the back of my mind was it meant to be the like the part A, the resin. So I'm pleased that it worked. But look at the sparkle. So that was just adding the glitter as part of the pigment paste. I didn't add any glitter afterwards. Now these are a little bit disappointing. They're not awful, but I can pop them. They can go into a project to help raise the level. But I do kind of like this one though. I think it might be the shape. But you'll see in the pictures, it's not, you can't see so well here because it's, this see-through. But in the pictures you'll see that is a lovely pink. The flakes pick up in there, and that's why I think if I am going to do it again, I'm going to add it, the flake, I'm going to crush it up and add it to like one of the pinks, so it creates like a sparkle, like a shimmer to it. So I'm really pleased with that. I've made up these. This is my first time ever doing it, and they've been a success. I will be revisiting that one though, with the flake. But I'm really, really pleased, really happy. The little pots, by the way, are from Amazon. I will link them in the description box below. They weren't expensive, so that's always cool. So thank you, Tina, for sending me this from my wish list. It is going to be super useful, really super useful and handy. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope that you're inspired to maybe give it a go yourself. Look at him with his little tail. He's so sweet. So pretty. So very pretty. Those colours are just mwah. And, just showing you quickly the neons. They glow up with the light. But obviously it's too bright in my, in my studio conservatory. This was fun though. I'm really pleased that I tried it out. I'm so pleased that I was sent this gift. Hope you enjoyed watching. Love you and stay weird.
Foxes that prance and badgers that dance. A whirlwind of dreams with a single glance. Gerald the alligator grins so wide. In enchanted waters he loves to hide. Dragons breathe wonder with flames so bright. Each creature born from a magic night. Nerd Goblin paints life in every brush. Animals frolic in a vibrant rush. From canvases to tales they leap. In a realm where fantasy meets deep. The studio's alive with swirling paint. Creatures so pure they need no saint. Sketches of foxes with tails of light. Badgers with moonlit fur in flight.